Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to English 112 for the spring semester. As I'm looking outside at my window, I live in Indiana and there's snow everywhere and it's like 14 degrees. I always think it's a bit ridiculous that we call this semester spring since most of it's in winter. Um, but maybe it's just hopeful thinking, and we need that these days anyway. My name is Dr. Cody Mullins. I'm the instructor for this course and will be your guide over the next 5 months, really. This will take us into real spring baseball and warm weather and the promise of summer. And so, so there is something to look forward to, I suppose. Uh, so this is a short week, this first week, and in general, I hope to do a video at the beginning of each week, as I'm doing here. I know it's Wednesday, but it is the beginning of our term, and I want to kind of go over what to do this week. The first thing that you really want to kind of get into is making sure that you're clicking through this getting started information, the welcome, information about me, reading the syllabus, thinking about the course structure, etc. That will really help you in terms of gearing up for our course entry quiz. I want to be very clear. The course entry quiz is really the first thing that you need to do. I know that the due date says that it's the 19th. Um, you cannot proceed in this course without the course entry. And what I mean by that is even if you do complete the week 1 and week 2 work, but you don't complete this course entry quiz, the college policy is to drop you from the course. So if we get close to this due date and you have still not completed this, I will be sending you follow-up emails. But please, let's not come to that, right? Let's make sure we're getting that course entry quiz done in a timely manner. All right, it's required for each online or hybrid class that you take, and you have to take it. You have to complete it to remain enrolled. Okay. In terms of the way this sort of is set up, you have your grade book up there, you have your grades. All the course content is available to you here. I'm kind of a person that sort of believes in, um, transparency and making sure that you have access to everything as you go. The way the course will kind of work as we kind of go through here is it's divided into units. Um, and the units will all culminate in a major project. And we have 3 of those. They all kind of gear towards sort of a similar place as we're doing research, and we're working towards writing an essay. But you see, for instance, we will be working on Unit 1 for several weeks here into February, and then it culminates in submitting your first project, right? And the steps along the way over the next several weeks will be gearing you towards that project. We'll have several writing prompts, research opportunities, etc. And then same with Unit 2 as you're working into analysis, and that'll take us up to spring break. And then our third will be our third project, which will culminate in an essay and then also a presentation. So that's kind of the way it works. I really encourage you to kind of explore around and look through what's to come. It's very helpful, I think, to get the big picture of the projects, especially in your mind as you're working towards them each week. But for this week, this is a short week. It is we're already on Wednesday, so we don't have much time. In general, we will have a couple due dates each week, and those are mainly for attendance purposes, but also so that, there are certain things like, you want to make sure you have your discussion board post up by Friday generally so that your peers have time to respond by Sunday, and you have time to respond to your peers by Sunday. That sort of stuff. Sometimes you have midweek quizzes or that sort of thing. But make sure, and I'll go over the sort of the due dates of each week, but make sure you're checking those, make sure you're not falling behind, and getting behind on your work. So for this week, our big things again is really on learning how to college course, learning how to do this as an online course. And so we have a few things to read that are listed here. And every week has this weekly overview that will kind of give you the course objectives, the learning outcomes, and then the assignments that you're to complete as well as the due dates. Okay. So a couple things. So by Friday, which is 2 days from now, you have two assignments due. The first is the authorization to release instructor graded material by email. And so what that means is if you click yes that you are allowed that means you can email me and we can discuss your grades that way. If you click no, then college policy is that grades will not be discussed via email. There'll be more formal channels. So that's what that's about. All you have to do is fill that out. And then there's a quiz on the introduction or the English 112 course introduction. So you want to make sure you read through all that getting started information, all the information for unit one for this week as well. Okay. And then we have a discussion board here for our introductions. We're going to introduce ourselves to each other and kind of get that classroom feel going. And you want to make sure your initial post is due or is turned in, sorry, by Saturday night. That way you have time to reply to peers and peers have time to reply to you by the next day, which is Sunday. Obviously, you can submit before then and engage in a discussion board. I will be monitoring it every day and kind of, responding to each of you in kind. Okay, so this is sort of just a snapshot overview of the week and what you're to do. As you kind of climb through here and look, so we have our lessons here, which you will click on. And click through here. This is a duplicate of the sort of, the getting started stuff. This is the important thing to start looking through all of the information for this week and then taking that quiz rather, on the introduction to the course quiz, etc. All right. And then this has to do with FERPA, which is directly leads into your whether or not you want to discuss your grades via email, which is here. This is the form that you'll file that you'll submit by by Friday as well. And then this is the discussion, which we already have someone in this class who's done this. I do have two sections of this, so if the number doesn't quite reach up, if this isn't the section, it's the same course. I'm just teaching two at the same time, and I'm making one video for ease, for sanity's sake as well. So the discussion board here, so you're going to essentially just follow the prompt here. You're going to kind of, introduce yourself, your preferred name, your preferred pronouns, if you wish, your interests and hobbies, what you do when you're not working or doing homework, your future plans. So what's your degree program here? What do you intend? Do you know your intended major? If you don't, that's fine. Often have high school students who are in this course. So that's fine. If you don't want to share that, that's okay as well. And then a main focus of this course and kind of college in general has to do with our, the looming elephant in the room, which is AI. And so I want to think about your previous experiences with AI. What have you noticed about how it functions or how it doesn't function, et cetera? And what kind of tasks have you asked AI to do for you? And then the bigger question that we want to think about is, when is using AI considered academic dishonesty and or cheating? My personal take is that we should really embrace these tools because I think they are the future. But I don't want to encourage anyone to have AI write anything for you. That is cheating. That is something that you really shouldn't be doing. And it also doesn't do it well. I will just tell you, it really doesn't do it well. It's not creative. It's not thoughtful. It doesn't have human empathy. And that is the thing that is really lacking in writing that is submitted via ChatGPT. And so we want you to be in there. I think it is very useful to get feedback on. You can use it to get feedback. I think it's very useful if you are worried about grammatical mistakes or I often use it for tone checking in emails. If I am, writing to my boss or to someone, I don't want to come off like a schmuck or someone who doesn't know what they're talking about. And so it's helpful for that. But you just want to make sure that you're using it appropriately. Okay. And so, sorry, this should say Saturday. I'll get that changed. So making sure that it's normally Friday, but it's Saturday this week because of the later week. Yeah. Okay. And so making sure you're basically, the way you do this, you click on that and then you type your response here. Allery Jones has already responded, which is wonderful. And so if you would like to reply to Allery, you can come down here and reply. And that's how you do a peer reply as well. Okay. And so by Saturday, I'd like you to post your initial post, your introduction, and then by Sunday, respond to two peers at least. You can respond to more if you'd like. This is the main work of the week. We kind of ease into it next week. I'll have a video on Monday, kind of outlining the work of next week. That's when we really jump into the work, the project, etc. And yeah, so that's basically it for this week. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to reach out via email or via this messages. I do prefer email just because I don't always notice this, and I also don't log in, immediately with this. So it could be, you know, it could be 24 hours before I come back to the class. Sometimes, not often, but it might. Email is pretty much constant. So emailing me at cmullins1@waketech.edu is the easiest way to get a hold of me quickly because I check my email way too many times a day. And so it is a constant battle to not check the email as much as possible, but it is a good way to get a hold of me. So making sure you're doing that. All right. So that's it for here for this week. If you have any questions, please email me and we'll talk again next week. Take care.